my system. It's just boring, you know? Nothing ever happened. No. I gotta go. Hey, everything okay? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Welcome to Strike Force. You are an elite battle squad assembled to defend Earth. This is who we're up against. The alien warlord Ultimus and his Kree soldiers who have joined forces with Hydra and AIM. Now, I know some of you aren't used to fighting side by side with each other, but the world needs you to put aside your feuds and stand together. Any questions?
I am Groot.
Any other questions? All right, it's go time. Now get out there and save the world.
You need help with your Marvel Strike Force game? Then come down to the school of the Game Father. Valley Flyin' did, and he learned that you can't beat the Game Father. Valley Flyin'. That's right, I'm the 3-time Super Sunday Red Stip Blitz Orb champion. After I uppercutted Valley Flyin' in his vagina for the 3rd time, he went home and cried to his little mommy, and now I need a new challenger. Bring it, little boy. All one with the fucking dope. I be ballin' like a
Gamers, keep on gaming because gamers are cool.
Alright gamers, keep on gaming because gamers are cool.
OMG.
It's so powerful it can turn off the sun.
Alright, I gotta go fix my door. Hello there. Hello there. Hello, how y'all doing? Welcome in. We're doing Marvel Strike Force. I'm just responding to some Discord messages. Wow, people are on fire today. What's up, Virgo Daza? How are you doing, my guy? We are, what are we doing today? We mostly got to do, Crucible, I guess. Hello, limited. All right, well, let's see here. We got to buy that. We got to buy that. And what else do we need? Evolutionary. Well, I kind of am good on that. Moon Girl. Well, harder, my guys. I don't know. I know some have, I mean, I don't know who or what. Also, I just want to say, I feel like there are two very different situations that, and I believe that they should be talked about in the same conversation, but they in fact may have two different outcomes. Before we start that conversation, Scopely's not going to talk about it, and we're all going to be stuck in this speculation scent. But what I believe happened after Reminex clued me in on the situation is a couple things. Firstly, there was a situation in Turkey, right, where, and it created some problems. The Turkey situation was a VPN, changing your VPN so that Exola, let's say, thought you were in Turkey and then buying it with Turkey. So that was some sort of fuck up, let's say, on Exola's end, an exchange problem. And I don't know what kind of discount that was, but I think I had heard a number like 20%. So some people may have participated on that, okay? And they may in fact be some of the people that got 3-day bans. And how are we going to fucking know, right? How are we going to know? Once Turkey happened and Scopely didn't ban anybody, right? People justified it and went to the lowest corner. The lowest corner, in my opinion, is a very different situation. It involves, going to a third-party website, giving them your Facebook Scopely user and login pass information, your two-factor codes if Facebook lock it, in-game name. The person takes over your account. When they've taken over your account, somehow you're magically going to get $600 worth of value for $60 or $16,000 value for $1,250. And my understanding of what this actually means right here is that they give Scopely $16,000 of stolen credit card, stolen gift cards. I don't fucking know. Something not good. The person that participated in this only gave him $1,250. Now, Scopely gets the $16,000, but then at a future date, once the fraud claim has been processed, Scopely gets a chargeback for $16,000 and essentially made no money. And the person there spent $1,200. Now, if you told me that the people that did the Turkey VPN thing got a 72-day ban, and the people that did this right here got a permaban, that would not surprise me. But we don't know. We just will never know. They're not going to tell us. Yeah. We're not going to know. We're not going to find out. But I believe there's two different situations that springboarded into each other. And firstly, I don't know that Scopely would have known about the latter situation until they got the chargebacks, right? Because that's just straight fraud, right? The turkey thing is a little different. And I think that this is really what happened. Once the turkey happened, people justified it and went to the lowest corner. I believe that's what happened. Now, there's no insurance. All retailers have this. I remember a million years ago, I worked on commission at a retailer, and I took a stolen credit card, man, and I was annoyed that they charged back my commission. I was like, fuck that. Yeah, and it's like the store just had to eat the loss. But anyways, I don't know that we're going to ever know who did what the policies are, what the exceptions were, why they handled a situation this way or another, or what actually each individual user participated in. We just won't know. We're not gonna know unless Scopely does a press release and said this fucking guy, Commander 6284, fucked us over for $42,000 and he's permabanned. They're not gonna do that. They're just not gonna do that. And so I'm not in, at this point, I don't, I'm not the Marvel Strike Force police at this point. No, I don't believe the TOS thing is a violation of anything. I actually don't think or know that the VPN issue is even a hard fact. It's not fraud, right? But I think this is true. Once Turkey happened, people complained about it, they fixed it, and nobody had any pushbacks. No bannings happened. People justified it and went to the lowest corner. I believe this is actually what first of all, Reminex knows his shit, and I believe this is true. Yeah, I actually, that 1000% makes sense to me. Well, I don't know. What they do in other games, I mean, I've never seen anybody get a perma ban for VPNs, but I know for a fact people have perma banned over this because this is straight. I mean, I don't know this exact situation here, but because I don't know. Most of these too good to be true deals are straight up fraud. They're converting stolen credit cards and or gift cards that were acquired by nefarious means into cash through an unsuspecting Marvel Strike Force player that may or may not know what's going on, but literally this is too good to be true. And you have to turn your account over to the person for this transaction to take place. Yeah, the VPN thing is not fraud. Yeah, the VPN's not fraud. I don't even think it's against the terms of service. I think this is exactly what happened. The turkey thing happened. People justified it. And then they went down this this path, which probably I could say with that anything where you're getting like a 90% discount, you're getting some sort of, and I don't know what else it could be other than fraud. I mean, I don't know the inner workings of the black market credit card, but it seems too good to be true. Well, I think the VPN thing was specifically for Turkey. How much was the discount on Turkey? I had loosely heard, and I don't know from who, whether it was about 20% discount. Does that sound right? No, the Turkey thing was not a massive discount. No, I don't think so. All right. Oh, really? So it had to do with a currency problem and Xsola didn't take care of it fast enough? Is that what happened? Ah, it was like 90%? Ah, shit. So it was because the Turkey the exchange rate at Turkey flipped overnight and Xsola didn't catch it in time or whatever? Yeah, they couldn't keep up with it. See, I don't think that that's fraud. I think that's just some shady, smart people taking advantage of something that is unethical. Let's say maybe. I mean, I guess you could say that it's playing the game in an unintended way. But two things. I don't have any of the facts. I'm not the Marvel Strike Force police. And thirdly, it's Marvel Strike Force job to deal with this. So as far as me personally getting frustrated or angry, it's something beyond my control. Will I make videos about it? Yes. But to the extent that it's going to bother me and I'm going to type in all caps and shit, no, that's not going to happen. And also, I know firsthand that the position of people that are outraged and everybody should be banned and fuck these guys and they scam, blah, blah, blah. I can say Scopely 1000% has heard that position and understands it. And there are several players and people that have direct access to the developers that have shared that sentiment to them. This idea that nobody's hearing this opinion or has not heard this voice and that Scopely hasn't heard it. No, they have heard it. I promise you. I promise you they've heard it. Thank you, Herb. Yeah. So like I said, I don't have all the details. I never will. I'm not the Marvel Strike Force police, and it's Marvel Strike Force job. It's the developer's job to deal with this. Oof. I wish a dev from another game would explain the line of not permanent bans because I think it'd be interesting. No, I agree with that. I do. Catch this. You want to hear something great? I have I'm going to interview the law firm that's suing Marvel or Galaxy of Heroes. I've been in contact with them, which is wild. Holy moly. I don't know what it's about exactly, but I'm going to make a video about it. And right now, I'm trying to collect as much information about what's going on with that until I have a better understanding of it. But I don't believe a VPN thing is. Ionizing any dark mode? Yeah. Google Sheet, I have dark mode on almost everything. For some reason, Google Sheets doesn't do dark mode. Or Google, some of the Google stuff won't do it. All right, nah, I got it. Yeah. Yeah. The Kip Boga shit, yeah. Yep. Yeah, okay. It's the Kip Poga thing. All right. So the way that the gift card thing works, because I'm very intense, there's and I know, I mean, I have some as far as the gift card situation is that that if you've watched Kip Boga, there's these scammers that um will call a senior citizen and tell them refund scams or their grandson's in jail, all of this stuff, and they get payment in gift cards. And then once they've acquired these gift cards, they have to convert them to cash, and this is how they do that. So it's a complicated process. I remember when this was back in the day when I was doing financial. I was a stockbroker and financial. I was a financial advisor, registered investment advisor. I would do these. The office above us was the FBI office, and I would work out with them at the gym, and actually became friends. And interestingly enough, at one point in time, they were actually trying to. They were heavily encouraging me to apply to work for the FBI, which I never did because I was a Jehovah's Witness, and Jehovah's Witnesses have issues with firearms. And at the time, I was pretty involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses, so I didn't even consider the option because of the firearm situation. But I would have the FBI come and I would hold these workshops and seminars for prospective clients and existing clients at restaurants, and I would do these big old workshops, right? Sometimes I would have Social Security Administration come out because they had a public information person, and then the FBI would come out. The FBI would come out and talk about identity theft and fraud. And the whole purpose of this story is they don't do shit for less than $50,000. And that was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. They said, yeah, we don't have time to deal with anything under 50 grand. So I imagine all these gift card scams, all these like little things. It's just like, who's going to hunt that down? Yeah. Anytime you tell us you need to resolve anything by purchasing gift cards, it's 100% fraud, 1,000%. So in theory, it's kind of money laundering mixed with fraud. I don't even know if it's money laundering. Money laundering implies tax evasion. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I don't think that the people that are doing this are in the United States or care about taxes at all. I don't think it has anything to do with money laundering. I think it's just all fraud, probably. But I got to tell you, to what extent that they're going to ban accounts or 3-day ban, I don't know. And I believe they may have a separate position on the VPN situation over the giving your account over to a third party who then goes about and does the gift card thing or the credit card thing. It may be a different, the thing is, we're never going to know. Unless somebody says, hey, I did the VPN thing and I got a 3-day ban. And then somebody comes and says to me, yeah, I did the top off thing where I got the massively discounted power cores from a guy and I had to turn my account over to them and I got a permanent ban. Well, we're just not going to know. Oh, I see what you mean. All right, they're making ill-gotten gains and traceable passing it through gift cards. There you go. Okay, so I guess that is money laundering, right? Oh yeah. My bad. I apologize. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. Ugh. You know what I always wondered? If I was and I'm just curious, if I was, let's say I say Trevor Lawrence artist, and I make a stick figure, and I've got $100,000 sitting in cash, and then I tell everybody that you bought it from me from $100,000. It's art. You bought the art. I have $100,000 now. How could you not get? How could that? I don't understand things like art, right? And I often wonder if that's what's really going on. Just become an artist and sell that shit, and there you go. You're done. I mean, who can dispute the value of the art? And if you paid me cash, you paid me cash. And it doesn't need to be numbers that big. NFTs, yeah. NFTs also, I feel like NFTs and crypto, and then and during COVID, there's a word for it. Legos, Magic the Gathering cards, premium watches. I feel like a lot of that money that was made from NFTs and or crypto was funneled into, there's a word for it, unregistered assets, non-registered assets, right? Because there is a market and some liquidity for Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering cards, Lego sets, things like that. And then the money they would buy that often with cash, and then they could sit on it, right? And they have no interest in investing or anything like that, but they just gobble up this shit. It sits in a closet, and then they can sell it when they want to, because it's like not traceable, right? Oh, then you buy the art, you insure it, then it gets stolen. Holy shit, I didn't even thought about that. All right, let's do my arena tax. Oh, what an interesting. So let me ask, how badly is this gonna fuck up the game? So let me just say, let's make an assumption, right? Well, I'm trying to think about this from I'm trying to take a step back and because I'm hearing that large percentages of certain alliances got hit by this, large numbers. I don't know if an entire alliance, but a high percentage. What are those? Are those players permabanned or fuck this game, or what's going on? I mean, I'm Rem thinks they will just buy old accounts. Ooh. Actually, I didn't. CRM is really smart. Yeah, why wouldn't they do that? You could just buy someone's account. I mean, none of our accounts are worth anything really. And there's lots of people quitting, and you could just buy. See, the problem with buying an account though is I think that's what, you know, some of those, what if those accounts that you buy and then you dump a bunch of money and then those accounts are flagged for this whole shit later? Because I don't know if this stuff hits right away. There might be a 6-month window before the fraud claims come in. I don't know. I feel like there's always enough accounts to buy though, right? I just feel like there's not that many like a Nihilus accounts to buy. Or Nihilus ready accounts. Yeah, I don't use a VPN anymore. The only time I used a VPN I actually promoted the VPN too. When was it? It was for that one game, that Marvel game. Yeah, it was a beta launch for that Marvel game. The one that we played the shit out of it. Marvel Future Revolution. Actually, I really liked that game. Joe, I had good times playing that game on voice chat with people. I loved it. Yeah, well, I'm not here to promote any of this shit. Listen. If you do all this stuff that we're talking about, you're going to open yourself up to, you know, problems or maybe even being scammed directly by the seller, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, let's remove some of these. Boom. Let's Jason, let's not do that. Yeah. All right. Hmm. Anybody what was the highest score anybody got on the Maestro fight? I ended up at 4.2 billion. Were there any higher scores than that? I'm just curious. I got 4.2 billion. Yeah, total. Yeah, the total score. Oh, did somebody get a 3.3 billion on one run? I'm curious. I don't know that it's a bug. I just don't think they thought of it. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. So the reason why it works is because of Professor X passive, right? When they have defense down, they can gain trauma. I don't know that it's accidental. I don't know. I just don't think they thought about it. Or maybe they don't, maybe it was supposed to be that way. Yeah, I don't think they thought, it's not a glitch. It's nothing like that. It's not an exploit. I just don't think they thought about it. Yeah, I don't even think it's an exploit. They just didn't think of it. 3 billion. Okay, so some people got 3 billion. Okay. Yeah, this is not you. They, or maybe they did think of it and they're just really happy that we discovered it. But it is not a bug. It's not like getting patched unless they just change the kit to Maestro that to say a counter to the counter. Professor X passive does not work in this match. Fuck, I don't know. Or this part of Professor X patch. Dorky Dad didn't work on Battle World at all. He tuned one node total. He said he didn't even play test it. The counter is probably instead of removing stun, he decays it. Yeah. Yeah. No chance they wanted people to get this many shards the first time, though? Okay. Yeah, I could see them changing the Maestro boss kit to decaying stun rather than removing it. Yeah, decay would fix the problem, right? It's the trauma that messes him up, right? Decaying the trauma is what messes it up. All right, so there were numbers in the 5 and 6 billion. Okay. 26 kills, yeah. 6.4, holy moly. I did 4.1. Hmm. 14 kills, so we're over the 12 kill threshold. It's too bad. We even had some people that didn't participate. I actually feel like this was fun. Yeah, it was fun. I hate to say it. I had fun. So they asked me for feedback, and I said that even technically for me, the Blue Marvel thing was fun. However, comma, I had the correct team at 4 Diamond. Get fucked if you didn't. I had a whole bunch of feedback for them. Overall, it was negative. The Maestro boss fight, the way that Maestro reacts to blind, ability block, and stun outside of the perma-stun team in some way was more interesting than the other boss fights. I agree with that. I don't think the 4 Diamond. See, that's the problem I had with Battle World overall. Is difficulty 9, all of it but those 2 bonus nodes were simmable, mostly a waste of time, uneventful, boring as fuck. Who cares? And then we get to the bonus nodes, and the difficulty that was manufactured in those was not Oh, this requires some skill and some thinking. It was literally roster check. Do you have these types of characters at 4 diamond? Do you have a Nihilus? I feel like that's just shit. I mean, if they want it, I don't know. It just like the whole experience was like, oh my God. Anyways, they know how I feel about it. The Bleeding Metaphor was fun too. Yes, it was. I just don't know why they have an aversion to us doing things like that. All right, this is the way the boss is beaten. Figure it out. Gal Counselor ID you can is a lot of fun. Yeah, the thing about the Galactic Council node is that technically it's 3 waves. I was able to be 1 wave. I heard other people were able to 2 wave it with without a Nihilus. I guess there was a way of dropping into the second wave with offense up from Storlord with the 5 bomb bursts from Blastar and making it through the second wave, and then you would have got an extra round, so you would have got 2,000 points instead of 0 points or 1,000 points out of a maximum 3,000. Yeah. Yeah, I think they should just leave this Professor X thing alone and just let us do it. There's a couple things that fuck up the run. Is 1, there's a timer. 2, when you run through the 3 billion damage or whatever it is, then he dies and he resets and get fucked setting it back up, and then you still only have 5 minutes. I think they should leave it alone. I feel like it could be like a fun thing. I don't feel like it's awful. I hope they leave it alone. Yeah, lean into it. Introduce another character. I mean, there's only so many characters it works with, right? You got to get the defense down. You got to have the Professor X mechanic. You have to have the stun plus trauma. You have to have the stun extent. I mean, it's a very narrow team comp, right? Yeah. I just feel like I feel like on some level it feels it's fun. It's fun. I just feel like there's so little of that at times. Yeah, it's like the Titus Wixbowl thing. Exactly. There are a lot of stun extenders. Yeah. Well, okay. It's but it is Professor X is probably the major piece of that puzzle. The major piece of that puzzle to make it work, right? Yeah, it's so. I mean, how is that a bad thing? Professor X is one of the larger chases in the game. Okay. So it's restricted to people that have Professor X. Cool. I actually feel like that's a thing. Okay. Yeah, it's solely because of Professor X kit. Let it ride, man. I gotta say, I feel like, well, first of all, if it was, I don't think it was intentional, but if it was, props to them because it was actually fun then. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping. Hold on. Arnold just sent me a message. Hold on. I got to message him. Hold on, I'm messaging Arnold about that lawsuit thing. There's a firm that's organizing a class action lawsuit against Galaxy of Heroes, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I've been in talk with the law firm.
MSF subreddit, baby. Home of good vibes, gender replies, and zero salt. I logged on once, was feeling low.
Hold on.
Game didn't really know. Asked who's good in arena though. They said, great question, bro. Let's go. Nobody flamed, nobody snapped, just virtual pats and a friendly clap. One dude called me king with pride. Another said your roster solid, right?
All right. Oh, I contacted them because I want to make a video about it. Yeah. No, I reached out to them because I want to make a video about it. Listen, I don't have to agree with them or understand. I want to know what they want to do and why they're doing it. All things mobile games, specifically over the last 10 years, I've heard dozens and dozens of times, oh, is this bait and switch? Somebody should sue him. Nobody ever does. Nobody ever does. When I actually see a lawsuit in the works, I want to know what's going on. I want to make a video about it. I'm hyper interested in that. Yeah. No, I don't. I just like, I don't know how many times, even on this stream in the last year, I feel like it happens about once every 6 months where somebody says, but that's illegal. We should sue them. I'm like, please do. I'd love to see this thing go down. I just want to understand the process. I want to make videos about it. I want to understand the angle. I want to know anything that you let me know. I just want to know anything. Anything you can tell me about it. Let's go. Yeah, I feel like they could do FTC. Let's see. No, FCC. Dark practices. I feel like there's a whole section, unjust and reasonable practices by, well, that's telecommunication providers. FTC's fine, like this kind of shit. Boy, that page is awfully white. Oh, there we go. Let's fix that. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, well, I just messaged Arnold, and Arnold, I think, may come along with the call. He's already made a video about it, and also a lawyer. Arnold's a lawyer. Well, he has a law degree. You know, he is a lawyer. He's a lawyer. Me talking shit. Any lawyer will tell you it's like, yeah, you go to law school and pass the bar and all that stuff, but then, you know, then your trade becomes highly specialized based on the field that you worked in, right? Well, Arnold's been making YouTube videos. Yeah, we're talking about. Let me see if I can find the website. Now, anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just meet up with them on Monday. We'll record it. Highly specialized but highly rewarding. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a law degree. So this is a whole article about it. So me and Arnold and I have been talking about this, and I actually reached out to the company. He already made a video about it. If you want to know more, no, I'm not going to watch it. You guys go watch it. But Arnold, his name, I have a hard time calling him Arnold because his name is not Arnold. His first name is Chris. Chris does have a law degree. I am a licensed attorney, but I am not a consumer protection attorney. I am not giving legal advice. I have no opinion of whether these allegations are true. I'm discussing it as an interested Galaxy of Hero player. Yeah. My goal is to simply explain what appears to be happening. Please do not harass the developers on this issue as they likely cannot comment on this anyways. This video is about understanding the claims and the legal process, not deciding who's right. Okay. There it is right there. This guy's smart as fuck, by the way. Yeah, I believe I do know some of the details on that. I don't know. I mean, I know what kind of law he was interested and he studied and he worked with when he was in college, because I was there when he was in law school. I was there when he graduated. I mean, you know what I mean? I was there when he was in law school. And like where he did some, I don't know if they call them internships or residencies. That's not like that. But I know that he did do a lot of work for, I believe, the state of Illinois. Oh, he sees that I'm streaming. He's like, I'll quit messaging you. Okay. All right. No, it wasn't a jury. It was, no, when he was in college. So I don't know if it was required by the university or what, but he definitely did a lot legal work as a unlicensed before he was licensed, as a internship, maybe as a law student. I believe for the state of Illinois, the whatever agency there that controls real estate, and it felt like he was dealing with licensing and with for the state and real estate licenses. There's some governing body in that state that has to do with realtors or real estate agents, things like that. So I suspect he knows about that, but then most of his focus when I've engaged him has been about IP. And I believe that was what he mostly focused on, was intellectual property and things like that. But when we were building our game, we were able to do some stuff our own. Like we registered some trademarks and we incorporated in Delaware. But a lot of it some of it we did in Nevada. But I ran around and did a lot of that. And we had open bank accounts and things like that. Anyways. And Rem did a lot of it too. It was the three of us. We had to do a lot of stuff. Holy moly. Let's see. Let's do this. It's kind of a pain in the ass, actually. We had to draft articles of incorporation. But I got to tell you, it was extremely helpful when we were talking to people that were... It was very helpful when we were talking to people or negotiating things to name drop, oh, by the way, I am an attorney, like Arnold, I don't know, or I would say it, because I was like, people are being dumb as like not taking it seriously or something. It was super helpful to throw that out there. As far as our backgrounds, when we were pitching to venture capitalist firms, like we would give our backgrounds of what industries we worked in before and our approach to why we thought we were going to be successful. And, also, what we had done on YouTube, how long we evolved in the gaming space, occupations that we had in the past. So it just gave a little bit more credibility when we were trying to solicit for millions of dollars, which we never got. I'm not sure if that would have worked out, even if we had, though. I'm not sure. Building a game is actually very hard. I think at a minimum, like when I see what they've done over there at Godforge, it's like, holy shit, I know how hard it is to do that. It's not easy. Try out for Shark Tank. No, but we would go in front of firms that specifically funded mobile games. Also, TDAT sent me an article. Here's the problem, though, and I kind of feel like we failed and it was a big waste of time, and it actually kind of really bothers me to even talk about it right now, because it was... I don't know. It was an upsetting process, especially how far we got with the IP, which I don't even think I can name the IP, but it was not a small IP. And then it all fell apart. But there was an article in Pocket Gamer that basically venture capital investment to mobile games last year was at a 10-year low. I don't know exact numbers, but it's like we were trying to get money when the least amount of money was ever issued out in a 10-year period. I feel like part of the problem, not all the problem, but part of the problem was that we were just several years behind the curve. Like if we had started this project during all the crypto NFT bullshit, and that would have, I think we would have had a different outcome at the beginning of COVID rather than when we started. Because everybody seemed to think, everybody we talked to, and we had David Brevik involved, a bunch of people involved. We had one of the main guys that built Marvel Strike Force involved. We had a big guy in Galaxy of Heroes involved. We had a lot of people involved. Like a lot of people were like, yeah, this is great. Let's do it. And then we couldn't get the money. It was just that simple. We had like a team. We had a good idea. We had a good pitch deck. We had the right people build the pitch deck. We had a good presentation. Everybody was excited. We just could not get the money. And then Arnold is essentially self-funding his title. The VR games are a little bit, for some reason or another, I don't understand why they're less, but my understanding is that they cost less. And Arnold is sitting on a war chest. So I suppose we could have done Shark Tank. The problem with the what we were working on is that it was tied to an IP, and the IP wouldn't have allowed us to publicly talk about the IP until we had secured funding. So there was no chance that we could have hit, I just can't imagine the IP would allow us to go on Shark Tank. In fact, I think the chance is less than zero. Wow. Unless Shark Tank is unless the same company owns all of them, I don't even know. I'd have to look. Maybe. Room 3 clears ability block. Room 3 is kind of a mess, actually, if you don't pay attention. 1 hour. All right. Brimstone worked there? I imagine so. Brimstone with Apocalypse, right? Oh, and more on positive news. A milestone for me today was 13 years of sobriety. That's kind of it's been a good day so far. Kat's got some fun stuff planned tonight for that. Yeah. I got to tell you, it does get a lot easier after a period. I don't know if anybody here is in long-term recovery or early in long-term recovery. 2 things I would suggest. Oh, wait a minute. Let's watch this. Hold on. Well, yeah, 13 years. No, I'll finish my sentence. Guy, ADD squirrel. Holy shit, squirrel. Dossier put out a video. His account was banned. We'll talk about it. No. I missed that. I was Skinny Math. You know I don't read chat. Nah, we'll tell you all about it. About being sober. Listen, if you're in attempting to get in early recovery, get sober, whatever. There is a point where it gets a lot easier. It is not easy at first. Also, the path I went down, it doesn't always work for everybody. I went to rehab 3 times, but I will say that certain, like what I say to anybody is like, hey, if you're in a situation where you want to stop drinking or stop whatever and you can't, come find me. I'll tell you how I did it. I think there's a segment of people out there that don't need to stop. I feel like there's a segment of people out there that can moderate. I feel like there's a segment of people out there that can drink like a fish, but without having the negative consequences. None of that is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a person that no longer wants to continue and is unable. Like they hit a wall, and for various reasons, it doesn't go the right way. And that's kind of the category I was in. But for people like something that I know that I don't have a lot of thinking about is like, a third party, maybe a mom, sister, wife, girlfriend, son, daughter, whatever, employer says, hey, XYZ drinks too much. Can you talk to him? I was like, yeah, it doesn't work that way. It's like, yeah, it's just, if they're in a place, what, can you make them understand? No, not really. Not really. And if someone says, I think I drink too much. Well, do you want to stop? Not really. Okay. I think I drink too much. Well, do you want to stop? Yeah. Have you tried stopping? No, I've never tried. Well, try. See what happens. Yeah, I was in a category of someone that I was drinking when I didn't want to, essentially. Or I don't know, man. It was hard to explain. It was a train wreck. So I'm glad I went down the road I did. Okay. Let's watch this video.
To see her here, and obviously I'm not doing great. My account, yes.
1000% Skywalker people have to get to a point where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. 1000%. I went and spoke on a rehab on Thursday, and I spoke at one on Thursday and Tuesday, and I said the same thing. I got to a place where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. There's no other way of explaining it. Anyways, let's watch this video. Enough about me. Let's get to Dossier.
How's it going, everybody? To see her here, and obviously I'm not doing great. My account, yes, it did get banned. Did I cheat? Because I know that's what the first question I was going to ask. No, I don't think I did. I think there was something weird that might have happened to where maybe I was connected to a VPN, possibly did a purchase. I talked about this on Zero Cool Gamers stream earlier today. It's like 3:40 in the morning. I just got off work, and I figured I'll just record this. We'll see if it ends up getting uploaded or not. But regardless, I hopped on ZKG's stream to kind of talk about the situation, obviously.
I think like if I drink beer and other drinks like that, I would get drunk easily. And with my violent tendency, I would be a violent drunk. I have no idea.
Because I know there's a lot of things going around to where I spent $50 a month type of thing. It's like, if I was doing this ultra core things, I'd spend a lot more than $50, and I haven't noticed by now. Obviously, I don't If I end up kind of pulling up my browser portion right here, here we go. So here you can kind of see when I was talking about what's wrong with MSF in that video, this would have been 5 days ago. Here you can see I have like 0 ultra cores. I do have my power cores and everything. Obviously, everybody has a bunch of power cores, but I have 0 ultra cores right here. I've done purchases on stream before, and there really wasn't any issue with that. If I end up going over to this page right here, this one right here, you can kind of see where I'm sitting at on my Gear 221. I can't show you like in game right now because my account is banned. So if I try to pull up like the MSF website, it's going to say your account is banned. So I can't really do that. This was like the next best thing. This is from 5 days ago. You can see I'm not even close to entering Dark Dimension 9, which was part of the topics I talked about in What's Wrong with MSF. When I was on my Discord, there was some conversations I was kind of going back and forth, which I'm just going to kind of show you guys what's going on in the Discord right here. If I scroll all the way up to kind of talking about what happened type of thing. Here you can kind of see the number of players that's banned. I don't know if this is accurate or anything. Looks like 7 members in Galactus, 21 in Super Outlaws, Rockets, all of them. I don't know if this is accurate, so I'm not really going to read off the rest of those because I don't want to like spread misinformation or anything, obviously. But when I was kind of going through talking about maybe what happened is I was connected to a VPN, and it sounds like that is possibly one of the situations that kind of the ban took place. Yeah, because I accidentally leave my VPN on sometimes while connected because they're throwing laws. I think that's might have been what happened because I worked so late. Maybe I did like a purchase connected to VPN. I honestly have no idea. Boom looking for this kind of addressed some additional.
I gotta also say this. I believe him. And there's nothing scientific about my opinion on that. Okay. But I'm also kind of that type of person. I kind of err on the side of believing people in what they say until I have a reason to not believe them. And right now, I feel like I am willing to extend to him the courtesy of taking everything he says at face value until he contradicts himself or says something that doesn't make sense to me. But if he presents a logical, sincere video, I'm going to believe him and just take it at face value and see how it plays out. That's just like, yeah. And I don't know, I just want to watch the video, but I think there's, like I said earlier in the stream, and welcome in if you just joined right now, I think there's 2 separate issues at hand. I believe that there was a VPN Turkey issue where there was a massive change in the lira, Turkish lira currency, where people were able to VPN to Turkey and get a massive discount. I also think that was remedied, and that was mostly an Xsola problem, but I know that it was a big stink. And then what Rem said is, once Turkey happened, people justified it and went with the lowest corner. And it went down this path of, going to a third-party top-up reseller where you give them money, they take over your account, and then they purchase ultra cores at a deeply discounted price. And this is not a VPN issue. This is something very different. Most likely, if we were to speculate, that this is stolen credit cards and or gift cards acquired by nefarious means. There's a lot of well-documented information about that. Like Kit Boga is an entire YouTube channel dedicated to that, where he pretends to be a senior citizen and these scammers call him, and the scammers always are having him go and get gift cards and then give them the gift card numbers. And that's in his big tagline, and what he's infamous for or famous for is the do not redeem, where the people are screaming do not redeem, and oh my God, it's hysterical. But what that is that they get these gift cards, they resell them on the black market, and then somebody on the black market does this. And what happens is, let's say you give this person $60 and you get 600 Ultra Cores in exchange. Marvel Strike Force actually received $600 in some sort of perhaps nefarious, fraudulent, something of that issue, right? Either gift cards or credit cards. And then what happens is a period of time passes, and then there's a massive chargeback from the payment processor. And the three most popular payment processors are going to be, iTunes if you use an iPhone. It's going to probably be Google if you use Android, and I know there's other stores and things like that. And or if you use the web store, it's going to be Xsola. So I just wanted to distinguish that there's perhaps two different issues. This Turkey currency VPN issue, and then this latter issue. And so Dossier, basically factually what has happened so far is Dossier has verbally said that he uses a VPN, and he believes this has something to do with VPN. So there's a connection, right? The whole thing with Turkey. I don't know. VPN. 3-day ban. Let's watch the rest of it. There were 3 minutes into an 8-minute video.
Additional information. Looks like there's 3 categories for bans. Again, I don't know how accurate this is. Using VPN, being Russian where the game is delisted, and UC low. Okay.
So this is what I just said right now. I did not know about Russian, but I knew that was a thing, but I just didn't consider that. Fine. Seems like the 3 categories. VPNs, being Russian, yeah. There's a post from Marvel Strike Force saying that when the whole Serbia thing went down, they said that they were no longer going to do business in Russia anymore, and they stopped. The Russian count stopped. So 3 categories of bans: using VPN, being Russian where the game is delisted, and UC loading, which is what I just described. This whole thing right here. Okay, let's keep going.
Loading. I heard someone got banned.
Ukraine. My apologies. Yes, of course, Ukrainian. Russian Ukrainian conflict. Yeah, there's an trade embargo with Russia, and Marvel Strike Force is a part of that, right? They're just not doing business with people in Russia at all. Okay. Ukraine, yes. Not Serbia. Serbia is a very different place.
For a student amount of power core usage, I actually saw this comment when I was on Mobile Gamer Stream when it happened, and nobody really knew what was going on, which again, I even said on Mobile Gamer Stream, it's like, hey, my account's banned as well, but we didn't know what was going on, so we weren't really going to address my name or anything. And then, of course, things start going out and people's kind of making accusations. So that's kind of why I'm doing this video. Now, as far as an update to the channel, as far as what's going to happen because of the ban, the spending's going to stop. I'm going to end up purchasing Riot because we end up going back over to here. I already have Riot unlocked. We have Symbiote Quicksilver coming. It's the arena team. I already have 1 member. I'll get Toxin unlocked. I don't know what extent, because for Riot, I did the $100 for the 4-star because I was so tired. I thought it was actually getting a 5.
Yeah, I heard people. We're off talking about disaster, and I just want to say thank you for coming up with that, or however you came up with it. I found out about it through you, of course, and I heard numbers as high as 6 billion total. I did 4.2, 4.1, but some people got like 6 billion. Not at total score. Yeah, anyways.
Star because of how Malekith was on his release with the step-up offer. Then they decided to change it, and it was a 4-star for $100. If I would have known that, I would have stopped at the 3-star, which that might be where I go with toxins, probably just like the 3-star unlock or something. After that, if I do any spending at all, it's going to be for the epic characters, just because of how powerful the epic characters are. So whatever this next Halloween team is, because I'm sure they're going to continue with like a Halloween trend, but it's not going to be Undying. And then when it goes back to the Phoenix Force, that means I'll be spending basically twice a year on the game as opposed to what I was doing. So this just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth to where I'm spending on the game, then I kind of get hit with this. So I'm just kind of over it, I guess. Something else that's going to hopefully be announced as far as something official, I'm trying to get a sponsorship for Raid Shadow Legends. Just hearing how Mobile Gamer and Valley Flying really are having fun in the game and everything. And I played it a long time ago when it first came out and everything. So I started just kind of picking it up again. Probably about 2-3 days into the game. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. So we'll see if I end up getting this sponsorship. If we do, there's going to be content being uploaded on this channel for Raid Shadow Legends as well as Marvel Strike Force. I'm going to make a second channel dedicated to Raid Shadow Legends as well. That way, when I hit 1,000 subs, I just stop with the uploads on here and you guys should have Marvel Strike Force here, Raid Shadow Legends over there. That's kind of what my plan is hoping to be. But outside of that, I just kind of been super busy with real life stuff, which is why I've kind of been quiet on Discord as well. Because I know people's like, hey, why you're not talking? One of the comments that I did end up getting as well, which this is the only time I really addressed it, is your account was banned. You were always nice, optimistic, but you were a scoundrel and cheated. Obviously, I'm getting messages like this because of the ban thing. So that's why I don't know if I'm actually going to post this video, just like let it be. Because initially I wasn't even going to do any acknowledgement and just kind of let you guys kind of think what happened. But I think you guys wanted to know. So that's why I'm like recording this, and we'll see if I end up getting this uploaded on there. But yeah, I heard like I spend $50 a month. It's like, no, I spend like $300 a month on this game only to get banned because of maybe some VPN issue. That's kind of what I'm thinking ended up happening on this, but that's kind of the story. That's the update of the channel. So no, I did not intentionally cheat. The reason I'm saying intentionally is because if I did end up purchasing on a VPN, that still counts as cheating.
I don't know
I played
that
like 40K and everything else.
I
like
don't
that.
know that is. You know what I mean? I don't know that I don't know if we're going to know the answers to a lot of these questions.
For competitive, so that's why it's like I'll eat it, and that's why I didn't really complain. I took the 3-day ban. I'm not going to fight it, type of thing.
It does. It does seem like a weird video. I'm not sure.
Raid Shadow Legends. Hopefully that's going to end up becoming a thing, and then I'll have 2 channels. Video's still going to keep coming. I've just been super busy with the family and everything, but that's the update that you guys were probably looking for. If there's any questions, feel free to comment. I'll try to get back to you. Just the comments are coming in so slow. The best way is reach out to me on Discord. There's a general channel. We're having conversations in there all the time, but hopefully you guys do have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care, guys.
What's going on, MSFers? Doolam here, and today we're going to be talking about that ban wave that happened. That's right, we had some cheaters exposed, and there's a little bit more details that I have not seen anybody talk about yet, so I wanted to bring it up here. I also wanted to kind of give an overview of my thoughts on Battle World and some of the feedback that I know we have been sharing with the developers, and I'm curious to get your feedback as well so I can send that to the developers as well. So let's talk about the ban wave. So if you're not caught up to date here, about half of the top 500 players were banned for cheating. A bunch of people climbed 100 spots in TCP ranking, etc. Didn't see a post about this. They were banned for buying ultra cores in other countries' currencies, essentially for a 90% discount. Good on Scopely to ban the cheap spenders. So apparently what was happening, they were using a VPN to buy ultra cores from using other currencies essentially, and it was like at a ridiculous discount. Now, if you're wondering what he's talking about the TCP leaderboards, it's going to be the collection leaderboards here. Apparently, people just jumped a lot of spots here, like immediately when this ban wave happened. So it was a lot of the top 500, according to this post here. Half of the top 500 players were banned. Then this post goes a little bit more in depth here. So the scope of the 72-hour bans, and this is the part that I've not seen anyone talk about yet. So I'll start off with this. This is not a post about any exploit. It's merely showing off who this ban affects. I also want to say I don't trust Scopely to be completely accurate about the bans, which frankly, I don't either, because there were some wrongful bans during the Blitz issue when people were using Blitz bots to Blitz for them, essentially. And I do think that they could have gotten some people incorrectly, which could be a very, very big issue. So I also want to say I don't trust Scopely. Neither do I, frankly. Anyway, I checked the power leaderboard and looked at every account at the top 100 alliances by total CCP. And I looked to see which have not logged in for 2 days. It's not 100% proof, which I agree. This is not 100% proof. But these people probably don't miss days, right? Which I would agree with. So
they're banned.
Here's the rank and how many players are banned. Apparently there was 7 banned from Galactus. There was
so you can go in game right now and get this information. This is not hard information to find. You just go in game, click on the leaderboards, click on a player's name, visit their little thing, and see when they logged in last. So this is absolutely information out there.
21 banned from Super Outlaws. The entire alliance of Rockets was banned. 3/4 of Suns was banned. Almost the entire alliance of Apex of Chaos. Half of Rest in Peace. Newtflix, 20 of them, and you see lower and lower amounts as it goes down, than here, which is almost the entire alliance. And that little number next to their name here is the number TCP that they were on alliance leaderboards, and that is
also Do you like my my feed over here? Boylon, Sovereign Citizen, Raid Shadow Legends, body cam footage. I like this guy a lot. Sergeant Curtis, he's from Vegas. Raid Shadow Legends, and then Conspiracy Theorist Exposed. Oh, Lego stuff, and then you know what I mean, and then more. I mean, it's anyways.
Here in game, if you click on that top left on your profile here, you go to Power Leaderboards, Strongest Alliance, and it was pretty significant and kind of insane that this many people were banned. And it's I don't want to say proof, because I do agree that it's not 100% proof that these accounts are banned. But the likelihood and the coincidence that they are missing 2 days in a row right after a 72-hour ban has been 2 hours into their 72 or 2 days into their 72-hour ban is kind of weird, right? I do think that's a little odd, and I think it is more than just a coincidence. I'm curious what you guys think. They're
banned. They're banned. Holy shit. Okay, hold up. Duel them. They're banned. People that play the game the way that you and I play the game do not log in. Everybody logs in. They're banned. They're banned. They're banned.
Are a permanent ban, actually, or if people could have been banned wrongfully, or if you were banned wrongfully.
I feel like a lot of the bans were initially 72 hours, but what I've been hearing is some of the bans were extended to permanent. Yeah. But if you're... I just don't see nobody here in chat that, people log in every day. It's just the way this game is played. All right. Let's just say that. That's the way this game is played.
Wrongfully, let me know down in the comment section down below. Next up, we're going to be talking about Battle World. Post your best teams to beat Maestro in Battle World. I thought Galactic Council would wreck, but they only did about 60 million damage with no Elias. Yeah, Galactic Council is one of the worst teams.
I really want to watch this video right here, by the way. Will we betray each other after 3 million Doug busts? My understanding is they had 500,000 pills on them. I just want to see this shit. These two 20-something girls. I wonder if they were in Arkansas or where they were. Where did they get? I want to watch this video, man.
Traits that they've ever done, which actually brings me to a point that I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but let's talk about the boss fight here. So I did do my 5 attacks. I did kind of the base teams you would expect. I did 1.6
Is they done talking about it?
Now, I did not do the, I did not reset to get good RNG for that exploit that I know a lot of people have been doing with the endgame Thanos team.
It's not an exploit. They just didn't think about it. It's not an exploit. It's just the way the team actually works. It's not broken. They just didn't think about it. Or it's intentional. Now, will they change? Dylan, you're pissing me off. Will they change Maestro's, the boss Maestro's clit to decay stun? Maybe. If they could, they set it up to decay trauma and decay stun, then this thing doesn't work. Yeah. And it was actually fun. Oh my God. Is he going to talk about anything? Is he going to talk about the bad stuff? If he's going to talk about, what's going on over here? I'm not watching any more of this. Fuck this guy. No, it's actually built into the kit. The only reason why this thing worked was a very deliberate and specific mechanic put on potentially one of the most hardest to get characters in the game, right? Enemies with defense down that normally cannot gain trauma can now gain trauma. That is a big deal. I mean, that's one of the parts of Professor's X kit. He's the only character that has that. Either this was on purpose or they overlooked this. Yeah. It's not an exploit. It's actually the way his kit works. Just because they didn't remember it doesn't mean it's an exploit. Yeah. Yeah, they could change Maestro's Battle World kit to because right now it says that he can't gain trauma, right? Well, they could change it to that it goes to decay, like it sits there and then it decays or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Twitch cosplays, he nods like a bot. Remove the chat and he's losing the plot. Spreadsheet close, he's reaching for fate, but Twitch made the win, he just pressed play. Just zoom in, no time to think. Quick click ninja gone in a blink. Full clear.
Oh, I gotta tell you this.
Hands like speed, this monk gon' feast while y'all just play. They should deepen that theory mode, stacking teams like secret code. Talk too long.
They are looking at this. And they are looking, well, they're always looking at everything in the game, but they're also looking at this. It's kind of a joke, right? What the hell are these rewards, by the way? Is this just like a pretend week to get the, I mean, I can't believe these are the rewards. Well, where did the orb go? What the fuck?
Dorky's broke wheel took his pride. No test server, just Twitch outside. Hot sauce burn, no gear to flex. Sipping on cope and Twitch chats X. Spin that pain, chant that cry. Watch him roast while the big boys try.
They could make him immune to defense down. That would fix the problem also. Instantly fix the problem. Make him immune to defense down.
Test servers lit, it's a buff for the crew. Free upgrades, max stars, brand new view. All boosted accounts, it's a win parade. Except for Dave, he already paid. Built his roster the real man way. Now Tesmo hit and he got no play. While the rest got gear like it's Christmas Eve. Scopely said, hold this cell and left Dave to grieve. Bug rooms, no boost. Tournament broke. No overpowered, just Twitch chat jokes. Who gon' win? Who taking the L? Type in chat, unleash that yell. Smash it, crash it, bash it, crush it. Test server tears, now rage that bell.
Oh man. Okay, let's play Cosmic Crucible. I have no fucking idea. Let's play Cosmic Crucible. Nobody got it. Okay. Yeah, this is Damon Apocalypse. If you don't use Apocalypse, you take a risk of what, Nightcrawler? Messing you up a little bit? I'm going to pin this. Thank you. You got it? All right. Thank you, Steven. I was going to pin it. Yeah. Steven's one step ahead. Yeah, we're going to get that question a lot. Yeah. Yeah. No, they will. And they should. I hate the way this guy looks. Remember how I hated whether there was that character, Multiple Man? I hate the way this guy looks. Fuck that guy, his stupid glasses. All right, we'll do it that way. Meta glasses? Oh my god. Yeah, fuck that guy. I don't like him. I don't like his face. He's got a stupid face. Kohori here. I wonder if that makes a difference. Okay. Those are his meta glasses. Fuck those glasses. I am interested in those meta glasses. I mean, in that seems interesting. I'm starting to notice a lot of people have them. In fact, I know a guy in law enforcement that has them, and I had one guy says, "Oh, and I think this is pretty smart. He wears them all the time, and he says, "Oh no, these are I actually got them prescription, but yeah, I bought these off Facebook Marketplace, and they're actually broken. They broke." I was like, "Yeah, okay." I don't believe you. A white light that shows we're recording. Can you put like a piece of tape over it? I mean, if I was gonna do that, I most certainly would put a piece of tape over that. I kind of suspect. I'm curious if the shitty rewards is that they wanted to push it out, and because if shit's bugged, they didn't want to have to max payout. Maestro, that makes any sense? Maybe this is a shit week because it's a test week. I have no idea. It's possible that this is a shit week just for like a test week. Is there any chance that New Mutants would work here? Any chance New Mutants works here? All right. Well, what about 5 then? Is there any chance that I could mirror match that? Or is the way that I can guarantee mirror match to work? Or just coin flip it and find out? I don't have daring. I have an Odin team. I wonder if I could just run like a bunch of shit in with Odin. Like a fuck ton of stuff with Odin. Wait a minute, Nightcrawler? Nope. You know what I can think I can do? I can do same team Odin, right?
Hey yo, it's Dorky Dad on the mic. Let me make this clear. Mobile complainer, AI faker, you ain't got no career. You out here pressing buttons trying to spit a verse, but your rhymes sound fake, man, they couldn't get worse. Auto-tune trash, call it AI despair, while I'm over here spitting bars without a single care. I'm the king of the flow, call me Dad of the year. You're the king of complaints, always crying in my ear. Fake beats, fake rhymes, that's your whole vibe. Dorky Dad's got the truth, yeah, keep it alive. You can't compete, you're a glitch in the game. Mobile complainer, now remember the name.
The pinned comment, we don't know. All right, let's do it. I have no idea what I'm going to do in room 6. All right, this is going to be a fun crucible because I have no idea what I'm going to do in the last room here. We're going to find out. So we're going to go in and just YOLO a lot of this, really. So if you're into watching a pure car wreck of a cosmic crucible, you came to the right place. I'm here. I will do things so that you don't have to. I'm here for you to laugh and mock me. But anyways, we're going to go in here with Fantastic Four, Dormammu, Professor X. I think we should have a relatively fun day doing this. All right, who's going to be the biggest pain? Let's see. Get wrecked. All right, well, 1 for 1, I think. I don't see how... Yeah. Should have just stopped the match right there. Oh my God, what am I thinking? All right, well, I don't feel like waiting for 5 minutes. Ugh, don't feel like waiting for 5 minutes, so we'll do that. All right, we'll go into the next one. We'll do Blastar and Friends. And we're going to be playing up against what? Starjammers. Let's see, this is going to be an interesting one because we're going to use part of Vigilante here. Okay. I mean, if Old Man Logan can get his party started, then we've got a thing. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Wow, this feels actually pretty decisive there. All right, well, we're going to do Damon with Apocalypse. Apocalypse is there so that the stun from Nightcrawler won't be a problem. And we're going to use this. I wish I could use Sentry somewhere else, but we got to do it this way. Okay. We're 2 for 2. See if we can go 3 for 3. And then the last, I think we're good. The last room's going to be a mess. Yeah, so Apocalypse prevented the stun there, which is what I was wanting. And let's see. Tappity, tappity, tappity. And then Damon for the win. Nightcrawler should... Oh, we got a little bit left over here. What? All right, well, hang in there, big boys. All right, well. Apocalypse finishes it off. Okay, then. All right, let's go to the next one. We're going to do Jeff and Friends in the next room here. I'm going to bring in Jeff to bring them all together. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Lady Bullseye, what are you doing in here? Did she sneak in because of the... Yeah, probably. All right. That's the team I wanted. Well, let's do it like that, I guess. I don't even know. All right. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? All right. All right. So we got Jeff and Friends to bring them all together and then explode them, right? Is the idea. And you... It's ability block. Yeah, we got to get the... Okay. I'm just doing JJ to make sure I get the kill. Okay, then. All right, let's go over here. Get the assist from... There we go. All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, we're going to go into the next room here, and we're going to do a mirror match. They have Kahori, and I'm going to take a chance with Odin instead of Kahori. All right. 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 So far, we've gone 4 for 4. Basic. All right, and then we get a wipe. Are we going to get through Kahori right here? Okay. There we go. All right. Well, that actually turned out. Okay, then. And what do we got? We got through it. All right. So now we're in the train wreck part of the stream. Welcome in. I think there's a lot of teams that can beat this. I just don't have them, right? I wonder if I should go chunky. Like, or Insidious 6. Insidious 6. Shadow Conclave. I don't want to run Mephisto because of Null. Is this a good sack team? What would be better than this? I'm kind of running low on teams. All right, let's see if I can get through Sentry and or... If I can get through Sentry, then I can do, like, Super Scroll. Wow, get fucked. All right, That was actually not a great sack. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, we got all kinds of bad ideas today. I don't think this is good either. Oh boy. Boy, 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 boy. It's like I said, I don't have a good plan for this. Wow. We are just not. This is awful. All right, I actually misplayed this entirely. I knew I didn't really have the firepower for it, but not like that. Oh my god, right?
RNG hit me like a car crash. No control, just praying for a pass. Team con crash before I even act. Danger rooms
All right, I think we're all screwed because of Sentry's passive here. I think Sentry's the one that's messing me up. Null does not work. My Mephisto doesn't work with Null over there.
losing their mind. We're screaming on Reddit at the forums ablaze. They just keep dropping offers while ignoring the rage. Battle world's basic, just auto and ignore. Zero strategy, man. What's the gameplay for? Click a button, get a win. Nothing earned, no skill, ceiling left, just another mode. Bird, I'm salty, I'm mad. This ain't what I had. Paid in time, some in cash, but the game system's just trash. Random booze, unfair. Every match gets burned. Battle world on auto. Skills never return. Event bugs everywhere. Milestones don't track. Spend hours grinding. Rewards never come back. Game crash mid-way. Progress erased. Whole alliance tilted. Patience misplaced. I'm sorry. I'm mad. This ain't what I had. 12 updates later. Still broken and bad. You throw us delays, but never the fixes we yearn. We just watch this game crash while the money still churns. Event drops, glitching, milestones stay broke. Killing the lies, it's all bait, just a joke. Double drop promises, vanishes, smoke. Conversations, 5 course, man, that's a poke. Book reports ignored, same copy paste line. We aware of the issue, all the time it declines. Alliance wars, crucible stuck when he see mid fighting is straight out of luck. Get raised, forget it, app quits on the boss. Energy wasted, your whole squad lost. We're trained to the grind, but the grind corrupt. Clear base back in, but damn, gonna adjust. I'm salty, I'm mad. This ain't what I had. Paid in time, some in cash, but the game system's just trash. Random booms, unfair. Every match gets burned.
Wow, that was awful. I played that awfully. That was maybe that was the team I needed to go in with initially. I can't imagine we won it all. Yeah. And we could have won if I would have. Oh, that is so annoying. All right, bye for now. Boy, that's so stupid. Oh. Yeah, there was like 900 things I did wrong in that. all I had to do was 2-tap a different room and go into that one with, let's say, Professor X, and oh my God. That was totally not. Yeah, I YOLO'd it. I need some food. I'm done with this.
Dear valued customer. Progress detected. Resistance detected. Solution detected. Well. Harder.
Should read it real quick. They definitely are looking at Battle World. All right, we're going to talk about two topics, essentially. We're going to talk about the banned accounts and the bannings going on in the game and what I think is happening and what the developers going to do about it. There was some response from the developers on the Discord, and this was just interactions. It was some quite contentious conversations that we're going to go over, and then we're going to go over the disappointment of Battle World. So, first things first, it says about half the top 100 players were banned for cheating. I don't know if that's true or not, but this is information that you can access in-game. You can literally go in-game and do a search on the top of the leaderboards, and you just hit like there and then click the names. And if they haven't logged in, you can see. And you could also do it by alliances. Now, you can do that on your own time and see who is there or not. Some people have compiled some lists, but it's right there. A couple things have happened for me to make sense of what's going on. And Reminix kind of opened my eyes to it, talking about Turkey. People justified and went to the lowest corner. Dossier made a video. My account was banned. Now what? I do believe what he said in that video until I hear otherwise. It's an 8-minute video. I'm going to put a link to it in the description. The first 3 minutes he talks about what happened. And the only thing that I can get out of the video is that he said that he used a VPN. And I believe that was the beginning of the end. And I think Reminex kind of nailed it once Turkey happened. So what happened was there was a massive change in inflation and a currency situation in Turkey. And during that window when that happened is you could go with a VPN to Turkey, to I believe the Turkish lira. I'm not really sure. And my understanding is that because of that massive problem with inflation and the currency swings, people were able to buy at a 90% discount. Now, I'm sure that this got sorted out at some point because I know that currently doesn't work. And there was a big hubbub about that. A lot of people were upset. That's fine. I think it went to another level. People justified it and went to the lowest corner. And I talked about this the other day. So there's these websites, and this is called a manual top-up or top-up, and it requires a much more nefarious process, if you will, where you have to give the seller, all of your login information, scope layer information. And I believe this is sketchy as all get out. And I'll explain why. You give them $60 US. They give Marvel Strike Force $600, and you get 6,000 in Ultra Cores. You give them $1,250. They give Marvel Strike Force $16,000, and you get $16,000 worth of Ultra Cores. And that is probably, I don't know 100% all the circumstances around this, but it's probably stolen credit cards, or it's some sort of gift card scan. If you ever watch Kit Boga, he often masks his voice to sound like an elderly woman, and then he engages scammers, and then he does all kinds of silly antics with them. The tagline is "Do not redeem," but they almost always go and have him get gift cards. And some of the scams include, refund scams, or even like your grandkids are in jail and you need to post bail, or we are the IRS, whatever. But they almost always, if it's not Bitcoin, almost always go towards some sort of gift cards. Those gift cards, which are acquired nefariously, are resold on the secondary market, and this is their way of converting those gift cards to cash. Would be possibly what this is. Now the problem with this is that they use this money to give to Marvel Strike Force, and then Marvel Strike Force will get charged back that $16,000, and they may have been hit in a huge lump. So that's what this means right here. The turkey thing happened, people justified and went to the lowest corner, and then large numbers of people in Marvel Strike Force, I don't know the exact number or who or anything like that, were 72-hour banned, and some of the 72-hour bans were converted to permabans. And my understanding is that there's 3 situations. I'm going to talk about the 3 situations because it's actually discussed in Dossier's video. Is 1, there was the VPN issue. 2, there was the top-up offer issue where, you know, you give your login information to a third-party seller that's doing something weird, in my opinion. And then the last one is that Marvel Strike Force has a policy where they're no longer doing with Russia or people in Russia. So from my understanding is that there were accounts based in Russia that were banned. There were people that participated in the VPN that received a ban. And then there were others that maybe did this top-up thing, which is kind of bad because it's chargebacks and potentially is fraud. Now, we're never going to hear from Marvel Strike Force, and I don't know if I could ever even guess which one of the 3 issues is being associated with the account. If you watch Dossier's video, I always say his name wrong, they wouldn't even tell him what happened, right? Other than he thinks it was tied to a VPN. So it's not like I know what's going on. I'm not the Marvel Strike Force police. Scopely is the Marvel Strike Force police. And so there were some interactions on their Discord. And I believe Discord is the correct place for one that has concerns with the competitive integrity of the game. Oh my God, I can't believe I said competitive integrity on a mobile game, right? It seems so weird to even say those words. Etika, speaking of feedback, Stark is like the head guy over there that oversees a lot of different things, but including the community management team. Speaking of feedback, Stark, there were still 2 cheaters in the top 20 of the leaderboard, and one was ranked 5 at like 20 million TCP. That's just the top 20. Says, oh, we always review the leaderboards. Keep in mind that low TCP players can still be legit if one of the scoring mechanisms is tied to offers. Haven't looked into any of them. That my reply was more of a general one addressing leaderboards. In the past, we've had very low TCP looking suspicious on top of leaderboards, especially when there was a big bonus in points from scoring. We'll review though. Hey, who knows? Who knows if the bad wave is over? Okay, so that was a relatively normal conversation. All right. And I just wonder how many people feel pushed into it after getting smacked on leaderboards by the ones doing it time after time while Scopely turned a blind eye. Had this patched up a year or 2 ago, wouldn't be here. Don't know that it's been going on that long. I do know that people in the community were bringing it to their attention as far back of, let's say, a month ago. I did see a screenshot of a person in the community saying to a community manager in a direct message, hey, there's this stuff going on. People are doing this weird stuff. And there was no response. But I know that happened at least a month ago. So, I mean, I've seen screenshots of that. Scopely turned a blind eye. Really? Is this all the time always our fault? Is that how you feel? You mean then the fact that Scopely is taking action because it's now too big to ignore? Come on. It was born tonight, but it wasn't last night. Oh, it's been going on for years. There's no way they didn't know about it. You got Krakens in the PV server, Kraken server. Some of the Krakens aren't doing it. I'm sure it's been brought up and they let it go on until more and more people start doing it because they were tired of getting bucks out of everything unless they spent 5 or 10 times more. And you seriously, this is the developer here, and you seriously think we as a business would like to lose money? Yeah, I think what he means by that is what I was saying earlier. Marvel Strike Force gets charged back that money. That's not a good business plan. Okay, let's see. We got some more comments here. This is no offense to you, Stark, but there have been whistleblowers for this exact issue for years now. None taken. I just want to understand the point of view because this is not us fucking up the leaderboard or a battle world where I'd be happy to take the full blame. Okay. My experience with Stark is that he's no nonsense type of guy. He's based out of Europe, and that is that. He's kind of got a different approach to things. Kind of reminds me of. I know he's in Europe. Kind of reminds me of like the way that he would talk to somebody is like if he was from New York. Just very direct type of individual. Okay. And then this is Strikefax, one of the community managers, are not taking shots at anyone, just trying to advise the community manager team tries to take care of what we have direct control over. If something takes longer, the reason is not due to lack of care from the community management team. We most certainly try our best for y'all, truly. I know I'm in and out here a lot, but once again, it's never due to lack of care. If I'm not in the server, it's because we're buried under spreadsheets, building reports, or prepping team presentations to make sure those complaints are carried up the chain. Now, a couple things. I know and have seen people message me say, I'm really upset about this situation. Person's clearly upset, and justifiably so, given that this has definitely been very disruptive of Marvel Strike Force. And to that, I want to say, I know that there are individuals that have direct access to the tippity top developers that strongly have feelings about this. And the development team of Marvel Strike Force is aware of what's going on. They've heard the complaints and they understand the situation. Do I think that they're going to speak publicly about this more than right here? I actually don't. Will they be effective with their decisions on how this is handled? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if this is going to play out like that. So what remains to be seen. I was playing Community Manager Whip, and if you've been on my Twitch, I have this character where he's like works at Marvel Strike Force, and he's a developer, and he is greedy, and he's this and that, and so I play this character. Let's just see what his take is. And I got to give you some context before I play this. He is addressing the people that have had the 72-hour ban. In fact, he told everybody that is not involved with the ban to go away. Let's listen in on what he thinks. Oh my God, is this not going to work? Let's see. To the players that received the 72-hour ban, please, please, please don't quit the game. We like your money. We have to ban you just a little bit so that the real spenders don't quit also. But we need you to keep spending money. We love your money. Thank you. Don't quit the game. Keep spending money. Bye for now. Yeah! Okay. I think the guy's got a point there. I think that kind of was what's going on. And if I look at what happens in other mobile games, I don't feel like the way that they're handling it is that different, really. And I don't think that this issue that we've been talking about with the VPNs and the exchanges and the top-off servers is unique to Marvel Strike Force. In every game I've played, they've had these issues before. And I feel like the way that Marvel Strike Force currently is handling it feels similar to what I've heard most of them do. Now, some are more extreme and take more extreme actions, but at the end of the day, I don't even know, what's exactly going on with individuals, and I highly suspect that nobody over there will give us the information. Marvel Strike Force is not going to say anything, and I just don't know how we're going to get enough information to make strong decisions. Other thing I want to say I noticed is that I suspect that this has been going on for a little bit now, because if I look at my collection power, I've always been about 600, 700 in the world. At one point, I was like 400 in the game. I've dropped below 1,000. And I was thinking, man, if so many people are quitting the game, how come my collection power is over 1,000 now? I remember thinking this the other day. And I'm just curious if that, you could say my collection power is at 1,000. I used to be like 500, 600, maybe 700 pretty consistently. And if all the people are quitting the game, what happened? Well, maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because of this. All right. Loosely, I just want to say Battle World has been a big, big disappointment to me. And missions locked for weird reasons. Teams we built specifically for Battle World are not performing well against Maestro. Rewards are playing horrible. Refer to another Century Battle World at this point. I have Century at 7 stars. I have forwarded, They actually asked for my feedback, and the feedback that I gave was similar here. The parts of the battle world that I liked was when we were able to use the team against Maestro. Because of Professor X passive, and I want to understand now that I've looked at all the information on that. It wasn't a glitch or an exploit. It was the way that Professor X kit was written. It says that if the characters that normally are immune to trauma can receive trauma if they have defense down. So that's a very specific part of Professor X kit. Then you are able to put defense down with Lady Bullseye, and then Endgame Thanos puts up stun and trauma, effectively shutting down the team, and then the other characters like Hip Monkey and Zombie Juggernaut, and then also Lady Bullseye are there to extend the stun. Are they going to... that was my favorite part of the whole battle world, frankly. That was my favorite part of the whole battle world. Are they going to keep it that way? I don't know. Some people suggest that maybe they'll make him immune to defense down. Well, strategy gets shut down if they do that. If they make the trauma decay other than clear, yeah, well, it gets rid of that. I don't know. But largely the rest of it was, most of it seemed too easy. And then the ones that were challenging was because it was locked. The Maestro battle, the fight outside of that was better than the other fights, but not by much. Kind of weird. And then lastly, the rewards have been truly awful. And then payout just happened a minute ago. And guess what? There were no Maestro orbs. Wow. Unbelievable. All right. Well, that's my take on everything. Please don't harass. Please just be nice. I don't know. I worry about the community fighting against each other. I prefer that energy is directed towards Scopely rather than each other. That's my hope anyways. Bye for now. Yeah, I'm there with you. I thought it was better than the other bosses. I felt like there was a little bit more to it. You like the rage timer, not making the rage go off as quick, which means avoiding using stun, ability block, and or blind. To me, that was better. All right. Well, that will end the Marvel Strike Force part of the stream. We're going to briefly play Raid. I don't know if I have a lot to do in Raid Shadow Legends. We'll find out. Oh yeah, they asked me for feedback about the boost system also. I had very specific... They asked me for feedback about the boost system and they asked me for feedback about Battle World. So I had some thoughts about both of them. Which gives me a little bit of, at least I feel like they have identified that those systems didn't work the way that they wanted them to. Yeah, I feel like they're asking for feedback on something that needs feedback. Right? Right? They're asking for feedback on something that actually needs feedback. So that is good. Also, if anybody's up needs a roster review or anything like that on Raid, let's see here. Yeah. Oh no. Oh man. Yeah, yeah. All right, I do. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, yeah. All right, let's do one. Who's 1, 2, 3, 4? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 first. And then we'll do another one after that. All right, Dahlia Carter. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. I'll send you a message here. Okay, let's change over this to Raid to look like Raid. Let's see. All right, let's do one more quick arena fight before we switch over. Well, 106 ancient shards. I mean, you just barely got. I mean, when you go 100 ancient shards without pulling a legendary at 1%, I mean, you just became. You still aren't statistically unlucky yet. That makes sense. I'd say you're probably statistically unlucky, whatever that means. Probably at about 100, 200 ancient shards, right? Okay. I see that you resend it to me. Okay. Let's get this fight over with. All right. Let's see how many more attacks. Do I have one more attack? All right, we're gonna do one here now. Yikes. Okay. Let's log in. I'm gonna send you a thing back. Oh, that's why. Okay. All right, I'm headed in. There we go. Temporary bans are over. Doesn't appear to be a ton of permabans. Yeah. Good Crucible question encounter. I have no idea. Exalted for Professor X. I'm not sure. You think it would be like a demon team, right? All right. Genie. Genie. I like that name. All right. We got 55, 100, and 1 million power. Been playing the game for... Yeah, I don't do reviews on these type of accounts, unfortunately, because it's not a normal experience that can be used for a good YouTube video, if it makes sense. I feel like it opens a can of worms if I showed one of these videos in a YouTube video, unfortunately. Best of luck on that, though. Yeah, it's just too complicated to explain to people what's going on. I don't know if you noticed, I knew right away what it was. I was like, oh boy. I don't know if you could tell, but I knew right away. I was like, oh, I know what this is. Yeah. All right. Doesn't appear. All right. Double secking. Okay. All right. Let's see here, Shro. Yeah. Shro. Let's see if we got anybody else. Read time. Okay. Let's load this up for a second. Ultra Nightmare. Champ bans are over. Doesn't appear to be a ton of perma bans. Yeah. I would well, I mean they want the discounted purchases regardless of the different ways to stop, right? And they want those players to not leave because they want their money. And they want to punish the players that did that, mostly to appease the real spenders, or the not the real spenders is the wrong word, but the spenders that, you know what I mean? It's just not, it doesn't feel good, right? My whip skit, I think, is what's actually happening. All right, we'll let this run for a second, and I gotta put up my other videos real quick, and then I might be able to look at yours, Shro. Let's see here. I do want to. Oh, what happened here? All right, ping me on Discord. Yeah, I will. I got to give priority to someone else. But yeah, I'll look at it one more time. Oh, this is the wrong team, though. I got White King a couple weeks ago. I had White Queen for months. Combination nicely strong. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have I don't have those characters, but I White King is of high interest. I don't think is Black King kind of mid without her though. That's what I remember. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like it makes him a lot better then. I mean, some of those combos are kind of like that where like which one? Yikes. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, Timid. Yeah, exactly. The Timid Kaja. You said it before I did. The Timid Kaja ones is exactly where I was going to go with this conversation. Yeah, where like Timid is like, what? Thank you. Okay. All right. Change forms, my guy. It's not good. This is really not good. Might have a problem here. I need to get the only way I can get the health back is if yeah, we got a problem here. Is with Toshiro doing a lot of damage. Yeah, let's put her on auto. There we go. Now we can get some health back, right? As soon as it rebalances, then we want to switch forms. We're still a lot low. Wow, it's still not great. Where's the bleed? Oh, there it is. Come on. Or the leech, rather. Allegedly, the only thing that happens is they remove all ultra cores from their account, remove all point from the scourge. I don't remember. Daring Warriors, it was some sort of Jeff team. Maybe Jeff plus Blade? I can't remember. Blastar team? Can't remember. I'll post, I think I posted the video. Yeah, the video's on YouTube right now. I need to not do that, if I remember correctly. Need to not do that. I need to do this, though. Oh, come on. Let's do that, because there's no of that, whatever that marked thing on anybody. Yeah, that's great. Okay, we can do this now. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Here we go. Switch forms so I could change mine. Let's do that. All right. That's the hardest one. Yeah, this is the maximum difficulty. Well, I just got hungry. Come on back. All right, I'm gonna grab a piece of pizza from last night real quick. Pizza. Eleven's good, huh? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I logged out everybody's account. I deleted people's account. I generally delete my access to your account. Stolen Kegwar Farakim. I do have that. Hold on, let me look for it. Oh my god. I have that one. Yeah. I will. I'll give it for you right now. You want to use my link just because. All right. Let me get you the code right here. One with Tholen. Tagore, Stagnite, and Ugo. Then you probably want to use Pelops or Wrath. That's up to you. I don't think you're gonna. I don't know. That I've used that one before and it's amazing. Stagnite is actually pretty good. And then I'm surprised you don't want to try the Narma one. Narma one's great. Yeah, Stagnite's good. Bracken's okay too, but I mean, they're similar. I mean, they do different things, but their value in the number of places in the game. Actually, I feel like Stagnite lets you know when your accuracy is too low. No. Yeah, I do think Pelops is the way to go, though. Pelops is the way to go over Padraig. Padraig is good, yeah, but it's such a narrow use compared to Pelops. Only thing that Pelops doesn't do is doesn't campaign farm well, but Tholen does that. Tholen is beyond useful, yes. So here's the thing. It's actually pretty simple. I think Narma plus, actually, I know this is the answer. Narma plus Pelops is probably the best and fastest clan boss combo. Where it's gonna fall short is in the campaign farming nodes. It's just gonna be slow and tedious. And yet, I think for me, that has been the best code. I think Tholen, I agree with what you said. Tholen plus Pelops is probably, if you've never played before, yeah. Because it's going to allow you to campaign farm a lot faster. The clan boss. So the most important thing to do, the Demon Lord clan boss is the most important thing for a new player to get done the fastest, because there's two very, very, very scarce resources in the game. They're called legendary books and sacred shards. And they're the really only way to get them. And you can't do anything in the game until you start getting them. Like, you're stuck in beginning game until you can do well in the Demon Lord clan boss. Like, so there's a thing called a fusion, which runs, let's say, 2 weeks, once a month, and it's like a miniature Dark Dimension for a new character that's really powerful. But you can't do those without sacred shards, and you're not getting sacred shards anywhere. Those sacred, you'd say you need 10 sacred shards. Well, those sacred shards are $20 a piece, and you might get 0 sacred shards in a month outside of Demon Lord Clan Boss. Demon Lord Clan Boss is probably where you're going to get your 10 sacred shards a month. I mean, there's other places they show up, but just not with any predictability. Yeah, Demon Lord, if the problem is that the correct answer is Narma. The easy answer is Tholen, if that makes any sense. I do think it's up for debate, if that makes any. I feel like I could make a strong case for either. It's just that the Narma route is slower. It's just not going to be as fast. That's not the right. The campaign farming with Narma is going to be way more. It's just not going to be as quickly. Like, you're going to get further in the game faster with Narma, but per day, you're going to have to play the game more than you would with Tholen, because Tholen can run over the campaign farming nodes. Like, and so, like, yeah, Pelops can do it, but it's just so much, like, it'll take 2 minutes versus 40 seconds per run. Yeah, and Tholen is more new player friendly. I agree with that. Why is this guy deleting me? Oh, it's because I got 12? I would say give yourself a chance and try Narma. Because you're a smart player. If you're a smart player, do Narma. Yeah, I don't know, man. I get it. All right. Well, that was fine. Yeah, that was the hardest difficulty of. Yeah, it depends. That's what Mr. Demon Time has said. You plan on sinking hours into the game, or is it casual? If you're gonna play the game hardcore, go Narma. If you're gonna play more casual, Tholen. Tholen is way more casual friendly. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that because I've started new accounts with both. I've done both versions, and I understand the downside to Narma. Narma is sweaty, and Tholen is cruise control. It's just they're very different. Okay, well, let me put it to you a different way. Do you have a secondary device like a tablet or a PC where you could run the game not on your phone? I think that would be the main thing. I don't, I think the thing about Narma is you really would need a tablet and perhaps have to run it for periods of time in the background where the Tholen one, you might not have to do that as much. But I'm going to say if you don't have a secondary device to play Raid Shadow Legends on, I think if you do not, I'm going to say that Tholen's going to be better. Like if you're going to play it on your PC and only play on your PC and you can hit it, you can start up the runs and then walk away from it and still have your phone and do other stuff. You're probably fine with Narma. Yeah, only play on PC. I don't know. Well, Farakin, I feel like Farakin's main value is HP burn and Fire Knight. Fire Knight, though, is such late, like you don't have to do. Frankly, if you have Pelops, a lot of this stuff doesn't even matter. Pelops is just so much stronger than everybody. And if you pick Pelops, you're not going to need Farakin. Pelops is going to do almost all of the good stuff that Farakin does, and a lot more. Actually, a lot more. Just Pelops is so good. Like you're not going to need to even worry about Farakin or any of those other. I mean, outside of like you could for like a long time you could focus on the two legendary starters in Tagore. I mean, that's going to be where the most of your time is spent with those three characters. Yeah, he's useful, but the thing about Raid is you're gonna get like so many characters. Like you're gonna get like way too many characters after a while. Probably by the time that you probably would have got a character that yeah, I just don't know if it matters that much. Tagore really matters. Pelops really matters. And then I think yeah, there could be I mean those two characters really matter. Some of the other and then Narma or Tholen. And then the other ones like Ugo or Stagnite or Farakin or Venomage or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, all of those are good. The problem with ranking characters in this game is that it kind of becomes a weird process when characters are good in certain places. No. I think Farakin is generally unnecessary if you have Pelops. Yeah, some of the stuff that Farakin does, you just don't need if you have Pelops. And actually, yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything is necessary other than Pelops, Tagore, and the other legendary. The rest of them, all of them are good enough. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to split hairs between Stagnite and Farakin and Venomage and Ugo. As far as like absolutes, Tagore and Pelops seem like absolutes. And then from there, it's like, yeah, you got to get one of those good legendaries like Narma or Tholen. And then you want the better epics. But I don't know if they all have their pros and cons, and then you get 900 debates about Stagnite, Farakin, Venomage, any of those. It's like, yeah, they're good. Yeah. Tholen, Tagore, Stagnite. Ooh, that's a great one. I would do, I think, I don't know about Padraig. I think Pelops is so good. Pelops is bonkers. And so I would use, instead of using the promo code Wrath, yeah, I would, that's from before, but I would do Raid 7 instead of Wrath. And start with Pelops. I did a whole series on Pelops Tagore. That whole entire tournament I did was Pelops Tholen. It was so good. Yeah. So the wrath thing, I get it. I get what it is, but it's just like, I think Pelops is better all around. I've played both. I've started like a million new accounts. I'm pretty confident in saying that Pelops is the best code character. Like, use the promo code. Raid 7. I played. Padraig is so niche compared to Pelops. Again, they're just so different characters. But Pelops is bonkers. He just says so many things. Yeah. All right. I mean, Padraig is better off to start, and Pelops is better with the gear. I don't know. Either way, I don't think you can go wrong. I wouldn't overthink it too much. Yeah, yes, Padraig is situationally better. Pelops is much better all rounder. Yeah, I strongly feel that way. Yeah. I feel like Pelops you can use Arena, Pelops you can use in Doom Tower, Pelops you can use in like everywhere. And he can do bonkers damage at some point. But Podrick is like, Mostly Podrick is just good in dungeons. The 4 dungeons. You got to understand there's like 50 game modes. Chuhanarok? I've played, okay, so in starter accounts, I've played Chuhanarek, Chuhanarek, Tholen, like I've started so many new accounts and played them and just grinded through them. Chuhanarek was especially good with Xenomorph. And now that Xenomorph is not around, yeah, I just Pelops. I think as far as promo code, like the promo code you put right when you get through the tutorial, Pelops is the way to go. And then I think you can make a case between Narma or Tholen. Okay. I'm looking right now. Ah, there we go. Got it. Got it. Oh, where'd it go? All right. Yeah, it went into the Tholen links. Okay. Perfect. No, you're perfect. All right, here we go. This is what I'm going to need from you real quick here. No. Did you? Let me check your inbox. I sent it to you. All right. All right. Let's look at this guy's account real quick. How do I artifact cleanse? Well, I spend the $5 a month on Hell Hades for their ranking tier system, so I think the way that I do it costs money. There's probably other ways of doing it with the RSL helper, but the way that I do it, how often do they have their gear tier rating system visible on Hell Hades? They used to do it whenever they had the free silver selling, and then they would turn it on and off just to tease people. All right, I got it. Yeah, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go right here and you're gonna hit options. No, Plarium ID. No, where is it? Oh, well, I don't know how it works on Steam. I can only show you how it works on I know how it works on oh, here. Yeah, I don't know how it works on I have no clue how it works on Steam. But what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a Plarium ID, right? And on the phone, you hit Plarium ID and then you click a button that's right here and it says change and you log in with email and password, right? Now on the PC client, which is Plarium, which I don't understand why you don't want to just do that, because all the tools work with the PC client. right? Like if you're going to do RSL helper, Hell Hades, whatever, that's where you want to use. Yeah, I don't understand why you want to use the Steam client. Well, if you want to be able to use all the really cool tools, you're going to need the PC client. If you want to use the Hell Hades Hell Hades Artifact Optimizer or RSL Helper or with Gasol, you're going to need the PC client anyways. All right. I'll set it up for you. I have no idea how that's going to work. Um, on I can show you how it's set up on the phone, and then on the PC client. Well, the game is running right now, but normally you log in right here. Let me log out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I can hit this and I can add an account, and then I log in with the email and the password. I'm guessing that the Steam client has something just like that. The password, the email and the password. I have no idea. I don't know how it would work otherwise. On a phone, no, I'm making it. I'm making it in the PC client. You know what? Let's do it real quick. Yeah, I just don't. Is the Steam client gonna let you toggle from Polarium accounts? Okay, I'll set it up right now. I'm gonna log out for now. All right. Woof. Okay, have a good one.